Hey everybody, it's Scotty from Scotty's Record Shop with a review or discussion or whatever you want to call it on the uh, 2014 KISS reissue vinyl program that is happening. I want to throw in some disclaimers. First of all, I kind of been, most of what I've said publicly, especially on the YouTube Facebook page, the stuff has been pretty negative. And I want to kind of clarify that. I want to take and do this video where at the beginning of it it's kind of positive, middle, some of the maybe the negative stuff that I feel, and at the end I want to end kind of more on the positive. Again, just to be quote unquote fair and balanced. How's that? Two disclaimers. Number one, I only got the first three albums. Out of this program, and there's a reason for that. Second of all, I didn't pay $35 for each pressing. I didn't even pay half of that because I won't, and I'll get into that in a little bit. Second of all, my taste for KISS is kind of more in the 70s. I don't have an issue with this who's wearing whose makeup kind of drama that goes on, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame garbage, because in the end that's keeping everybody and keeping them in the news, and that's what they want, and all of them are making money off of it, including Ace Frehley and Peter Criss. So it's to me, I don't lose any sleep over that stuff. This is about the vinyl reissues anyway. Start off with well, let me show you the three. Obviously, I mean we know what three these are. The first album, Hotter Than Hell, and Dress to Kill. I want to start off by saying about these things, let's talk about the packaging mimics. The packaging mimics the original packaging. If I remember correctly, I'm going to check this out. Been a little bit here. Yeah, they poly inner sleeves. Original, Casablanca labels. So from a packaging perspective, they did a really nice job on the packaging, honestly. The fact that these have been really unavailable on vinyl. The last pressing I think on this has 85, I think was the last pressing on vinyl. So it's nice to just be able to go out and buy a new KISS album. You know what I mean? It's just nice to be able to do that. A nice, clean, crisp, clean copy. I'm not sure if these were sourced from a digital source or from analog. I haven't really even done a heck of a lot of research on that yet. I know they sound good. I've listened to them. They sound really nice. They sound really clean. But I'm not going to pretend to be some kind of an audiophile that can hear frequencies that everybody else can't hear. I think personally they sound pretty darn good. Now, moving on to kind of the yucky part of the program here. $35 is like suggested retail for one album, dude. There's no extras. It's not like, and I know that a lot of people are getting sick of hearing about the Led Zeppelin reissues. I've got those, and for Led Zeppelin 2, you get 2 albums for $35, not one. And I'm not going to argue about the packaging because this is packaged well as far as quality of the vinyl. We can have a discussion, an argument about does 180 gram vinyl really sound better or whatever. I mean, leave that to another day. I'm coming to a point now in my life where I'm not totally convinced about it, but these do sound good. If you're looking, especially like the first album, really, hard to find in mint shape. You find a sealed copy of the first album, early pressing, you'd be paying a lot of money, maybe even more than probably $35, right? But I'm at a point in my life where I think that's kind of disgusting. to charge that much. Now, here's the way that it works with the music business. I mean, there's a market. Gene Simmons knows that he can get 35. He can get whatever he wants for his product, because the fans love them. And I'm not knocking the fans by saying that or saying that Kiss fans are stupid or anything. It's just, I admit, when I heard this nice, crispy, clean, new copy, I was like, yeah, However, I think that it's kind of difficult for me to palate somebody going, we care about the fans, we love you guys, and then, I don't want to say rip them off because they're giving them a good product, but at the same time, really highway robbery as far as what being charged. That's really where my biggest beef from this whole reissue program, when I saw what they were charging, and that's what I ranted on about on the Facebook page. It's like, this is just total BS, and it's wrong, and it shows just how much of a, I don't want to say that. It just shows where it's about money, and that shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. That's my big bitch. Now, transitioning back into the positive of this, first of all, even though I think that these guys, especially Gene Simmons, is a money hungry, they still put on a great show. I mean, if you've never seen that band, I've seen them 2-3 times anyway, with original lineup and without. I mean, they do put on a really, really good show, So if you've never seen Kiss, even though it's not the original lineup, go see them, if you like that stuff. Now, about the vinyl stuff, there's some of the stuff that's been reissued has either A, never been reissued on vinyl before, or never been issued on vinyl before, or is so incredibly hard to find, you're just not going to find it. You know what I mean? So I think in the reissue program, I think that's a really, really, really good thing. I saw, I watched, who was it? Somebody in VC. I think it was LJ, was talking about it. He's gotten a couple of the reissues, later ones too. Like, I want to say he got Psycho Circus and maybe Revenge. I don't know. Definitely Psycho Circus. And I think that's either the first time that's been issued, or it's incredibly, incredibly rare. Now that album is, it's okay. I don't want to say like it's a terrible album, but I'm not going to spend $35 on a copy of that. Got the CD. I'm okay with that. But the fact that I'm sure it sounds really, 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 really good on vinyl. You know what I mean? And especially if that's an album that you really, really dig. Or some of the later stuff, the Unplugged. You know what I mean? That's got to sound really, really, really good on vinyl. So, in the end, if you can stomach paying that much for a piece of vinyl, which I think is disgusting, wrong, and just total bullshit. If you can get over that, or in my case, if you can find them for dirt cheap, which I think I found the 3 that I wanted for dirt cheap. If you can find them for dirt cheap, buy them. They really do sound great. I just encourage you to get them. But again, a note to the boys in the bands. You guys are ripping us off, and it's it's sad. It's really sad. But then again, like I said before, come on, Kiss is about money, But then again, it's not just about Kiss. Let's talk about Steven Tyler. Brand Aerosmith. I love Aerosmith. Please don't jump all over my shit because I said that. I'm a big Aerosmith fan, but I'm not a big fan of how these guys are leeches at times. But if you go out and get them. I don't know if these are limited editions or if they're tough to get. I had to wait a little while, especially for what I paid for these suckers. But they sound so good. Alrighty, so there's my little review. I hope I didn't ramble on too long or piss anybody off. Again, thank you. They're only my opinions, and if you got more elaborations, more, if it is from a digital or an analog source, put it down there so we can all know down below here in the comments. Thank you as always for subscribing and watching these silly videos. Okay, guys, until next time, peace and love.